Thanks, Ginger. It's funny, I think I thought the same thing of Mark when I first met him. It was in Vegas. No, but it's fun because he and I had the same conversations about, blogging and everything else, and it's part of my second nature, and I use Mark Green's, solution as well, so it's kind of funny, it's kind of nice to have everybody up here with us. One of the things that Fred Arnold and I were looking at, and we're part of American Pacific, we have a lot of resources that can recruit, can go after loan officers, and you would think we would have loan officers, knocking down our doors. And it's interesting when we look at recruiting is that majority of the loan officers today are very comfortable in their position. They're making a lot of money. There's no pain. There's no, I have to leave now, right? I have to, move away from the pain in order to go to something else. So we're kind of thinking back, okay, let's kind of reshift and look at maybe some other types of features that would satisfy the goals that both Fred Arnold and I have with respect to growing our business. Because at the end of the day, he and I both originate, but let me tell you, it's a lot easier to have loan officers come into you and actually originate for you as well. And Fred is a great sales manager and a trainer, so why not utilize those resources? So we started thinking back to, okay, let's go after brand new individuals that we want to train to be loan officers. Because even Ginger had pointed out, the average age of a loan officer today is 54. Yeah. And I say the same thing about real estate appraisers, and that's a completely different project, because if you think about it, they can't even have trainees anymore. So who are going to be the new appraisers? But that's a digress, something else. That's for a different track. So we were trying to look at is try to find people who have good character and who are competent. If you have those two resources, that's something that I learned, that you can actually train anybody, anything, right? In other words, if they have a level of competence and they have good character and you trust them, why not bring them aboard to have you part of your team? And that was one of the things that we're going back after. So we found it kind of interesting, like, let's go after some niche markets, because again, everybody is refining, HARP, you name it, right? Why don't we go after niche markets? Why don't we go after certain markets that, eventually, I hope everybody in this room agrees, interest rates will go up, eventually, right?
Yeah.
Well, eventually, right?
Yeah,
they're not going to stay the same, just like, right, in 2005 we thought, appreciation would hit 10% every year. So when interest rates go up, where are we going to sit? Are we going to refinance still everybody and the mother? No, we won't have the capability. So what we do is, why don't we go after different types of niche markets? So again, we have a handful of going after financial planners, going after realtors. Why not go after other types of unique business? USDA, VA, reverse. And so that's why we started looking at a different type of strategy. And what we did is we hired our first reverse mortgage specialist who knew nothing about real estate. Nothing. He was a gentleman who had great character that Fred Arnold knew. He had a level of competence that he showed us because he was working with the Chamber of Commerce. He had worked in American Red Cross as a fundraiser, so that call reluctance wasn't there. So we know, okay, let's take a risk on him. Well, he's now running our reverse mortgage division. And the same thing we were looking about VA. And I want you to think about this when you go after VA loans. What better person to sell a VA loan than a veteran? To me, that's a duh, right? So I thought, okay, why don't we take veterans that are coming out of the service, they've demonstrated they have a level of competence amongst the military. Because again, if you think about the level of training that our U.S. government puts through these young people and train them to be, whether it's logistics, whether it's arms, whether it's flying a plane, there's a level of competence there that they must have. And so we have good character with them after we interview them, so we want to take them down a path. Why don't we teach them? Because again, it does two things. One, it teaches them in our arena of how we want to conduct business. Because let's face it, doing business today is completely different than back in 2005, back in 2000. Do we all agree? Right? There's a different type of level of how we fill out business, different types of ethics. Again, we hope that everybody that didn't necessarily have the morals and ethics are completely out. The bad actors are out. So why not teach people in our vision? Teach business, business the way we want to teach business. And this is a different avenue. And I think this is something that's untapped that I think all of us need to go look at again. One of the things, the research that we're looking at is, for VA, we look at the VA administration, Veterans Administration. We're going to college campuses, community colleges. Go back to your community colleges. they actually have outreach programs that go to local communities and local businesses to try to place people in different businesses. Create relationships there, because the best part of it, I mean, think about a local community college that has thousands of students. Now, these aren't just all college age. These aren't your 18 to 20-year-olds. Some of them are mid-20s, maybe mid-30s, going back to school. That's something to kind of think about. And so again, it's kind of turning our vision of how we look at business a little bit differently, because I know all of us, again, think about a strategy, think about a business plan in order to make your business successful tomorrow. Because you're concentrating, I know right now, on making it successful today, but what are you doing to ensure success tomorrow? And this is actually one of the avenues that we're looking at. Now, the other aspect of bringing new people on, make sure you have a structure. Because the worst part that you can do is boarding a new loan officer, boarding a brand new person, and not having anything structured. I mean, unfortunately, my first day, which was a little over 10 years ago, Fred Arnold wanted to clone himself. He hired me, put a contract in front of me and said, what? You got 2 hours, right, to fill this out and to take my first loan application, right? That's how I learned. Well, you know, unfortunately, in this day and age, people need to be spoon-fed. People need structure, because with structure comes success. So make sure when you do go through these programs, make sure you have everything in a structural point of view. So in other words, that first day, first week, first month, etc. And make sure you have certain thresholds. Make sure you judge them after a month, after 3 months, because worst thing you want to do, 6 months down the line, a year down the line, you find out, oh, this wasn't the greatest hire, right? Make sure there's certain thresholds that you can cut bait real quickly, because it can be very expensive if you don't have these procedures in order. So that's kind of our take on how Fred and I are looking at our next generation of success for our company.
Very good, thank you. And I know you are working on an interview for someone for VA right now who's a veteran, right?
Yeah, actually, one of the things that we were looking at is VA. We're one of the pilot programs through VA on-job training that will take disabled veterans, and VA will actually help us pay those veterans as they're going through training. So we're part of one of those pilot programs as well.
Very cool. Thank you, Fred.